Today I am going to make the second part of the motion part 2, that is, first there is relative velocity. What is relative velocity? Relative velocity means, as there is the relative, means there is something comparison between two velocities. How we can be able to do that one? This is nothing else but a part of the vector. Basically vector part is there. What happens? Say VA is the velocity of A in this direction. Say another one VB of one B material that is moving in a particular direction, say VB, that is the velocity. So this is the VB velocity direction and this is the direction of the VA. Now if I want to identify the relative velocity of B with respect to A. Now if we want to identify the relative velocity of B with respect to A, what we have to write? What is the way to write it down? That means you have to write VBA. That is the process to write it down if you want to identify the value of the velocity, relative velocity of B with respect to A. That means B should be the first one, then you have to write the A, and it is represented by VB minus VA. This is the type of the representation. So VBA becomes VB minus VA. That is the representation. Okay. So in this case, what happens? If you want to identify for this VA and VB the value of this VBA, we know this one VB minus VA, we can be able to identify the represent this value like this, plus of minus VA, right? There is VB minus VA, but we can be able to write it down like VB plus of minus VA. Okay, that is also true as per the vector addition or something like that we have already covered. So here these two vectors, basically this is vector addition or subtraction, what you call. Ultimately we are getting the resultant vector. So VBA is what? VBA is basically the resultant vector of this VB and minus VA. So how to identify the resultant already we have done by using the parallelogram diagram law, or say triangular law. I am using the parallelogram law. So in that case VB and minus VA. So if there is plus VA, we have to write say minus VA here somewhere, that is the minus VA, and VB like this, this is actually VB. So VB minus VA, this is the representation. So you have to complete this parallelogram. This is the parallelogram you have to complete as we have done earlier. So this is the diagram which will show you the VBA. That means this is the velocity of the relative velocity of the B with respect to A. That means already we have identified if VB and VA, this is the vector form. If there is the angle between this VA and VB is theta, then the angle now between VB and minus VA should be equal to pi minus theta. Pi means 180 degree minus theta. So finally, if I want to identify the value of this VBA, that means the mod of this VBA, that should be equal to root of VB square plus VA square minus 2 VB into VA into cos theta. Here actually cos of 180 minus theta should be there, plus 2 VB VA cos of 180 minus theta. But from trigonometry we have identified earlier, cos of 180 minus theta becomes minus cos theta. So we are writing here VB square plus VA square minus 2 VB VA cos theta. This is the representation, and that is the way to identify the value. And already we have identified earlier how to say with this direction, if I want to identify the angle, that means the actual direction of the VBA, the resultant relative velocity. So we can be able to identify this as tan alpha is equals to Vb sine of the total angle, that means Vb sine of 180 minus theta pi minus theta whole divided by Va plus Vb cos of pi minus theta. So that means this is the same thing as we have done earlier, and this is also the same way we are writing this one. There is one difference. There is Vb in the previous case when the angle between Va and Vb was theta only. In that case we have written this one as theta. Here just we have to replace the theta by pi minus theta. So here Va plus Vb cos of pi minus theta, and that total represent the value of this tan alpha. Say if the tan alpha is something, say 45 here, so that should be called as, if I say this one is the west direction, so if this alpha becomes 45 degree, then we can say the angle, this VBA or the relative velocity of the B with respect to A, that one is making is nothing else but 45 degree north of west in that case. That means this is the west direction, so north of west, how much degree north? That is 45 degree north of west. So that should be the perfect direction of that relative velocity. Okay, so this part is the relative velocity. Now come to another part which is also very important. What is that? That is the projectile motion. This one is called as the projectile motion. Most probably you have gone through this projectile term. Projectile motion means what? Projectile motion means when we are projecting some object in air, then ultimately after a certain interval of strike the ground, then that means this particular path or this particular movement of the body is basically called as the projectile motion. And the path, basically the curve which this object follows, is called as the trajectory. That is the trajectory through particular which direction it moves, that is called as a trajectory path. Okay, so in case of projectile, say the basic thing is that this one is the ground. I am projecting one object with initial velocity u making an angle theta, so ultimately it will be projected like this. That means this is the kind of projectile motion. That means when we are projecting one object with an angle theta with the ground, then it ultimately moves in a particular direction and then finally it strikes again the ground. So what happens here? Actually we have to make two components. One is u cos theta here, another one is u sin theta here. So that means there are two components. First of all we have to make two components. One is u cos theta, another one is called as the u sin theta. Already we know how to identify this cos and sin. Okay, actually what happens, this is the origin we generally take. So this direction is x and say this direction is taken as y. That is the direction we generally take in the axis. Okay, now in y direction means what? Y direction means this is the movement, there is the movement of the body in air. This is air, so there is the gravitational acceleration only in y direction, and this is also in downward direction. As we know, there is a gravitational acceleration and that acceleration is basically acting in the downward direction, so there is the g. But in the horizontal x direction, there should not be any kind of retardation of or acceleration on the body, because no force we are taking acting on the body which is opposing the very movement of the body or motion of the body in x direction. But you will say there is air, so there must be air resistance. That is true, but if you want to identify the air resistance, then obviously not in x direction but there in y direction also you have to consider the air resistance. But in your part, in your class, basically in your standard, this air resistance is taken as neglected, and so we have to take care of in x direction. When there is the motion, there is no acceleration or retardation, that means there is no resistive force is applied. But when there is a movement of the body in the upward direction, there is the force which is applied by the earth on the body in the downward direction. So against the motion of the body there is another force, and so there is the gravitational acceleration is there. So there must be some retardation when the body tries to move in y direction, in upward direction or in positive y direction. Okay, so now what happens here, the very first point is, as these all, say there might be displacement, there is initial velocity, there is final velocity, there is say acceleration, whatever may be, but you must have to take care of that one whichever is the direction you are considering. Say if you are considering the x direction, the displacement you have to take care of in the x direction, you have to take care of the initial velocity in x direction, you have to identify if there is some acceleration in the x direction, and similar thing for the y direction. Don't mess up with x direction and y direction. Say acceleration x direction, you are taking a displacement of y direction or something like that. So that means don't mess it up. X and y direction must be separated. Whenever you are taking anything, that must be, if that is in x direction, you have to take all the things in x direction, and if you are considering something in y direction, that must be all the things, initial velocity, acceleration, displacement, whatever be the thing you are taking care of, those must be of y direction only, not anything from x direction. Okay, now in x direction, say after O it strikes again at P. Okay, and this one is, say, the maximum point or maximum height point is Q. Okay, now this distance that is x direction total displacement, which is called as generally r, and the total time taken for that the body to strike again the ground is capital T. Okay, if there is the range means horizontal or on the ground, what is the horizontal distance? Basically we can say that is the horizontal or x direction displacement, that is r, and in time capital T. Okay, now there is the velocity and there is the vertical component is there. So let us say in small time t, vertical displacement of the body is capital H in small time t. Say t, small t is the time in which the body reaches its maximum height Q, and here the displacement not in x direction, that should not be x direction displacement, that should be called as the displacement in y direction. And if you want to identify the displacement in x direction, that should be from O to this part, that is the value of the displacement in x direction in time small t. So that is the difference between displacement in different two directions. Okay, now if I consider the in total time capital T, what should be the displacement in y direction? If I want to consider or identify the total displacement of the object in y direction in capital T time, that means in total T time, what should be the displacement? The amount of the displacement in total T time is suffix y, means in y direction displacement is basically 0, that is in time t the value should be equal to 0. Why? Because displacement means in a particular direction final displacement from the origin minus the initial displacement from the same origin. If there is the origin, then from this origin in a particular direction maximum displacement or the final displacement minus from this same point in the same direction the initial displacement. So if you subtract that two, you will get the actual displacement. Okay, here what happens, it moves or starts to move from O. So in x direction total displacement is r. That means in that direction final displacement OP, initial displacement, that is O means 0. So in x direction there is the displacement r, that is okay. But in y direction initially that is on this line at O, and after time t it lies on the same line, that is OX line, that is on P. That means in y direction there is no displacement in time capital T. So you have to say in capital T time the value of the displacement Sy must be equal to 0. Now if I proceed with that one, Sy S is equals to then Uy capital T, that means U, but I am considering why I am writing this one as Uy, that means I am always all the time considering, if I am considering the value of the displacement in y direction, then I have to consider the value of the initial velocity in y direction, and I have to consider also the value of the acceleration or retardation something in the y direction. Now ut minus or plus half gt square is there, but here g is opposite to the direction of y. There is the y direction and this one is opposite, so you have to write this one as minus half g t square, like this. So if Sy is equals to 0 after the certain time t, there is no displacement, so we can say t is equals to 2uy by g. And what is uy? Initial velocity in y direction is u sine theta, so we can replace this one by 2u sine theta by g, that is basically t. Capital T becomes 2u sine theta by g. Clear? So if capital T is equals to this, that means we have to remember this one, capital T is equals to 2u sine theta by g is the value of the capital T in case of the projectile motion. Okay, if there is the capital T, now in x direction what happens, there is no acceleration or retardation. So what is the type of the motion? We know if there is no acceleration or retardation, then the type of the motion is basically uniform in nature. So what happens? Sx, that means in x direction we are considering now the displacement in time say capital T. So what happens? Sx is equals to here r, the value of the displacement in time t is range r, okay, is equals to ux into t. That means you have to take the initial velocity in the direction of the x into total time t. What is this value? Ux means u cos theta, u cos theta into capital T, but u cos theta into capital T means 2u sine theta by g, 2u sine theta by g. So we can write u square into 2 sine theta cos theta. In trigonometry we can be able to identify this. 2 sine theta cos theta means sine of 2 theta by g. So capital R now becomes u square sine 2 theta by g. That is very much important. That is the range. That means when an object, say missile, is projected or tested, then what happens with a velocity, with an angle with the ground? If you project that one, if the missile is basically projected, then after that is how much the range of the projectile or the missile is calculated. That is, this is the rough equation is this one, u square sine 2 theta by g. There must be some another precise consideration regarding the air resistance or something like that, but here roughly we can say that is u square sine 2 theta by g, that is the range. Okay, now if we want to make this range maximum, if I want to make this range maximum, then what happens? Say I want to make this range as maximum, then that means what? That means if r is maximum, if you want to make this r maximum, then u cannot be maximum because this one is say missile. So in case of a missile, what is the value of this u? You can't be able to change this initial velocity of the missile. So what happens? U is constant and g is also constant. So there is only one chance to change, that is the theta. So if this sine 2 theta is maximum, then the value of this r becomes r max. So the question now becomes sine 2 theta max. But we know the maximum value of the sine 2 theta, sine means 1. That means it becomes sine of 90 degree. Therefore 2 theta becomes 90 degree and theta becomes 45 degree. So we have to remember again, if one missile or projectile is projected with an angle 45 degree with the horizontal, then ultimately it will hit the ground again in a maximum distance apart. That means the range of the projectile will be maximum when theta is 45 degree as per this calculation. That is the mathematical proof of that one. So in that case, what is the value of the r max? Then r max becomes this one is 1, so the maximum value becomes u square by g. So you have to remember, if there is the projectile motion, then the maximum range of the projectile should be u square by g, and when that projectile motion should be maximum when the theta is 45 degree, then the range of the body will be maximum. Okay. Now come to another part, that is, if this body which is projected from point O, now when it will reach its maximum height each, at this maximum height what happens? In y direction, if I say the velocity in y direction, that must be 0. In this y direction the velocity must be equal to 0. Why? Because if this velocity in y direction, if that is not 0, then what happens? This body will move further in the y direction. So it should not be then the maximum height. Then there must be some maximum height somewhere else. So at the maximum height, there must not be any kind of movement of the body in the upward direction. So we can say Vy must be equal to 0. Okay. But as x direction there is the uniform velocity is there. So there must be the same uniform velocity u cos theta in x direction. And as there is the velocity in x direction, body in the right hand direction. So there is the movement. Okay. So u cos theta is very vital part. Okay. Now if I want to identify this t, then what happens? There is Vy, V is equals to u minus g t. That is the equation. Here again, that is y direction movement. So we have taken all the things in y direction. Y, this one, this is also y direction, this is also acceleration or retardation, that is also in y direction, and time is without any direction. Okay. So here also we have taken this one as minus g, because uy is taken as plus, so g which is opposite in direction is taken as minus. Okay, that is correct. So now here we have to write Vy as 0 and uy is u sin theta. So we can write u sin theta minus gt, and that means t becomes u sin theta by g, that is the time. So what happens? Capital T was 2u sin theta by g, and now small t becomes u sin theta by g. So small t is half of capital T. We have to remember also this one. That means in case of a projectile motion, the body reaches its maximum height. In half of the time, the body reaches the same level. The body reaches its same level in say time capital T, and half of this time it will reach its maximum height. So this is the explanation. Okay. And what is the expression for maximum height? We have understood, that is the time taken. Okay, that is okay, there is no problem. But if I want to identify the maximum height it will reach, that means here again we can provide this equation Vy square is equals to Ui square minus 2g. Now say h. We can be able to write it down like this. So if Vy square at that point is 0, u square means u square sine square theta minus 2g h. That means h becomes u square sine square theta by 2g. That is the expression for maximum height. So now there is the expression for maximum height, which is u square sine square theta by 2g. Just I want to say this theta, one special case of that one should be if I project that one in the say vertical direction, just perpendicular to the level of this horizontal, then what happens, this theta becomes 90, and when theta becomes 90, then what happens, this sine 90 becomes 1. So wherever you want to identify the maximum height when we project something in a vertically upward direction, then what is the amount of the time taken, in all the cases just you have to put the value of this theta as 90 degree. If you put theta as 90 or substitute that one, you will get all the values regarding the object as thrown upward with the in vertical direction. Okay, so these are the calculations we have seen, those are very important rather. Now I want to say what is the actual equation of this curve. This is nothing else but a type of curve. So now we want to identify what is the type of this curve. So what happens, let us say any particular point on this, which is say S, and say this one coordinates of this point is x and y. So if I drop a normal on this, then from this to this the value becomes x, from this to this the value becomes y, and that is say in time, that is small t. So say this is in small time t1. Okay, now we can be able to identify the displacement or something like that. The previous equations already we have done, we have to take care of those equations now. So vertical direction means y s is equals to u sine theta into t1 minus half g t1 square. That is the equation. Say if the time taken is t1 to reach y, then initial velocity is u sine theta and g in the opposite direction, so you have to take minus half g t square. And in x direction what happens, in x direction that becomes x is equals to u cos theta into time t1. Now I am substituting this t1 as x by u cos theta. If I say the value of this t1 is x by u cos theta, let us substitute this t1 in this equation. What happens, u sine theta multiplied by x by u cos theta minus half g into x square by u square cos square theta. So finally this is the expression. You can make it a little bit say simpler, x tan theta say minus g by 2 u square cos square theta x square, like this. This is the expression, say this is the expression like this. This is the expression. So x tan theta minus g by 2 u square cos square theta into x square. Actually if you know the point, say the x distance of the object is given and what is the angle which is given, what is the value of the initial velocity of the object, that is also given, then if you if there is the question to identify how much height it has reached when the distance in x direction is this, then from this equation you can be able to identify the value of the displacement of the body in y direction. Okay, so this expression is also important, and as there are two variables mainly, y and x, so from this equation we can say this is parabolic nature curve. So this is basically parabola. Okay, so this is important to identify from this equation. Okay, so we have identified the R, what is the value, how to identify H, what is the expression of that one, for total time what is the expression, for the time to reach its maximum height what is the expression of that one, and what is the equation of this trajectory we have identified. So this is basically the complete part of this projectile motion basic part.